We're going to go through a Q&A with Carly right now. So what licenses or permits are required?
So Calgary changed their rules about a year ago, April 2025. And so you need a short-term business license with the city. So that's where you start. To get that license, you have to show that you have insurance that is for a short-term rental. You need to show a fire plan, so like a drawn-out floor plan of the house. And then the fire department actually comes now. So after all of that is submitted to the city and you pay your fee, of course, there's an appointment with the fire guys. So they come to your house, they make sure that the windows are all egress, and that the fire plan makes sense. You have to have fire extinguishers in the house mounted on the wall. So all of the changes that have happened a year ago are actually good changes, in my opinion. It's for safety because there were people renting out illegal basement suites, so that didn't have windows that were big enough for people to get out of if there was an emergency. And so that's kind of done away with all of those properties on Airbnb, which is great.
Yeah, that's awesome, Carly. We've realized that when we're showing properties, we'll go into properties and at the front door there'll be a little map
And the
of
fire plan.
fire plan, and then we'll see the extinguishers everywhere. So we know straight away when we're walking into a property for sale that has been on Airbnb. Okay, what insurance coverage is necessary for Airbnb hosts?
So you have to have an insurer that is going to cover short-term rentals, and not all insurers do. So you kind of have to shop around a little bit. Square One is where I've had good success. It's going to cost you a little bit more to insure it with a short term, but you need it. So
You need it. For everybody out there, Carly actually owns an Airbnb that makes $600 a night. So she knows what she's doing. We wanted to do this seminar for you guys to showcase her expertise. How do you create a listing that stands out?
So we talked a bit about that in the seminar, but just making sure that the photos are professional photos, making sure that you're showing all of the bedrooms, making sure that you're showing the coffee, the amenities, if you have a blender there, different things, because you don't always know what's important to everyone. So just making sure that people can see your house, and kind of envision themselves staying there and that they have everything that they
Yeah.
need.
Okay, how do you determine your nightly price?
So what I do, so Airbnb has smart pricing, and basically they take the average of similar properties, but they can group properties differently. So I have 6 bedrooms, but they might group me with a 4 bedroom place. So I don't like the smart pricing. I find that it always comes in way below where it should be. They also have a great tool where you can click and see the averages of the different. So I know the properties in my area that are similar to mine. So when I click on that, I can see where they're all at,
Mhm.
and then I decide where I want to go from there. So what I'll typically do is set the price at the higher end of the range. And then if it's not rented, so say there's still a weekend in June that hasn't been rented, so in that kind of 30 days, like a month before, if it hasn't been rented, then I'm going to bring the price down a little bit. So there is a bit of time
Mhm.
that goes into that, but for me, it maximizes profit because it's not just setting it at a price that I know it's going to rent at. It's setting it at the maximum price and then kind of moving backwards to get it all rented.
And Carly, just to add on to that, how far out are you renting?
So I opened up the schedule in May and I'm renting into August, but I have it
Oh,
blocked off after that. So
yeah.
people, like just to give an example, my June is like basically booked up, 70% occupancy, but all of the weekends are booked up. July and August are about half booked.
Yeah.
Um,
Good little business.
I think we like take for granted that
$600 a night, not bad.
we live somewhere that people come for vacation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so a lot of these people are planning their summer vacations and they plan them ahead.
I
So
guess it helps no one's going to the States right now. So that's
Exactly.
awesome.
So then how do you maximize your occupancy during the slow season?
Yeah.
So I do the method of the midterm rentals during the slow season. So I actually take it off of Airbnb typically, and I'll put it on Rent Faster for like anywhere from 2 to 6 month rentals.
Mhm.
So in an ideal world, I'll have somebody there for that full, like from September until May. That doesn't always happen. So sometimes it's two different people or two different groups in there for a couple of months each, but I've had great success with that. And then you have somebody in there for those slower months. You're not sitting there hoping that somebody's going to book a weekend.
Mhm.
You've got your costs covered during that.
Awesome. And they're responsible for cleaning then at that stage?
And they're responsible for
Yeah.
cleaning snow removal. So
Removal.
doing that in the wintertime is great. It kind of takes away, obviously, like for me, I set it up as if it was an Airbnb for the very start, and then they're responsible after that.
Okay, for the people out there, how much time does the Airbnb management actually take?
Yeah, I don't know, like it's hard to put into an actual like how many hours a week. I would say in the busy time, I maybe spend 3 hours a week on the management side of it. So that would be responding to any messages, but I also have a system where I'm cutting and pasting. So I have like my welcome message, it's a cut and paste. You just change the person's name, throw it in there. So that takes 3 seconds to do.
Do you give them any tips in the area? Like we'd go down to Marta Loop and go, there's a pub down there,
Yes,
merchants.
you can actually make tip books,
Yeah,
merchants.
yeah. If you're single, that's the place to go, I heard. So, okay.
You can make tip books on Airbnb, so you're not having to do that with each person. It's just showing up on their side of Airbnb where you can show them the different restaurants.
Okay, so before we go on, let's put that into perspective. 3 hours a week, you said. So you're putting in 3 hours a week on an asset that's going to appreciate $10,000 to $15,000 in 1 year. That mortgage is going to be paid down on that asset about
Same
thing, ten
Yeah.
to $15,000. Plus, you're going to be generating monthly cash flow on that property. That's a pretty good work to cash flow ratio.
12,000 in the 12,000 a month, 12, 15,000 a month, plus you're getting 1,000. So now you're up around 15,000.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
like hands off on the cleaning part.
Let's get another one.
I hire somebody to.
That's what we should do. Sold. Okay. We're getting back into Airbnbs now after this. That's what it took to do a seminar on Airbnbs. That's
I think
hilarious.
people who do their own cleaning and who do a lot of that stuff obviously are going to spend more time on it. But just the management piece is really not, it's not a large portion of time.
Right. Okay. How do you maintain a 5-star review? I heard for the hosts out there, this is the most important thing.
Yes, it is very important because obviously everybody's going to be looking at your ad to see what your reviews are before they book. So what I do is at check-in, I send a message and I just say, I hope that you got in okay. 5-star reviews are very important to our business. So if there's anything, we want you to have a perfect stay. If there's anything that is not perfect, please let me know now so that we can fix it for you for the rest of your stay. So that kind of sets the tone. I also do a handwritten note and maybe a little gift depending to start off with.
That's so nice.
That's
See,
way overboard.
I can tell you, this is why Carly's part of our team, because Tim and I are not writing a handwritten letter.
I've been the Glamorgan cheese buns have been
come on.
a fan favorite.
Oh gosh.
And then at checkout, I also reiterate that 5-star reviews are very important. So please leave us a 5-star review. And that's all I've been getting. So
Okay, just to show that it's all not sunshine and roses, what was your worst guest experience?
That's a good one.
yeah, I will say I'm pretty lucky in that I haven't had any terrible experiences, but my very first guests at the Richmond house, they threw a party. And so I could see on the ring cam people coming and going. And then the days after they left, I mean, it's a family neighborhood. So my neighbors all heard the party and had something to say about it. And I think for me, that's where I learned I'm not just letting anybody book. So they have to come through me to book. And when they do come through me, I reiterate this is not for events or parties outside of the people that are staying there, and that there's community quiet hours from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Pretty strict, Tim. I don't know if we're staying there now.
I say, are you good with that? And if they are, they can book.
Oh,
And I've had good experiences ever since.
geez, lucky you don't have the hockey dad staying there. 'Cause- Okay, well, that is awesome.
That's
I
our
know you're
Calgary Airbnb special
Yeah.
Q&A.
Get down to Glenmorgan Bakery and get those cheese buns, everybody.